My initial aim was never to make money, it was to try and bring this idea I had to life. There was a lot of public support, so we were steadily getting donations, but we didn't have the funding to get anywhere near where we needed to be. I was gearing myself up towards selling the house, but it wasn't fair of my kids, I think, and they deserve better. This story began 4 years ago when Sol was born. Due to complications with his delivery, he had to have his left arm amputated. Prosthetic rejection seemed to be my biggest worry at the time when we were in Alderhay. And one day we were waiting in this little waiting room to see if there were any updates on Sol's condition. And a nurse walked in and said, "We've got some news, it's nothing about his condition, but we know his blood type, it's B positive." And I don't know why, but I just latched onto that. That's a sign I'm going to be positive. I immediately started researching to see what was available for children, what the issues were, and I put everything into that. Learning how to design prosthetics, learning how to 3D print the things, and I had a vision, come hell or high water, I was going to do this. But what I didn't realise that was happening at the time was how much I was sacrificing in terms of family time, and there was no income coming into the business.
The thing that struck us about Ben's story is it's just so personal, but it was Ben himself that told it best.
I remember getting the phone call, Microsoft Inspire Vegas, do you want to come and do you want to bring the family? And I just remember nearly falling over thinking, yes, of course I want to come to Vegas, this will be amazing. That's exactly what we needed. Just some time where we weren't under pressure, just be a family again.
Listen, it's easy to say I'm a dad and it appealed to me, but that was the bit that I just loved about the story, that it was one man wanting to do, of course, the right thing by his little lad, but actually then take the learnings and scale it out and help others. It was just impossible not to be inspired by the story.
I remember feeling my legs shaking. I was that scared. And then walked out onto the stage and just heard this roar. And I remember just thinking, how proud Sol's going to be one day when he sees this, when he's older and fully understands it.
I'm absolutely delighted to say that the first organisation that will be donating to the fund is Microsoft.
When Derek said that Microsoft were going to start the ball rolling with a £20,000 donation, and I nearly dropped to the floor. And I looked at Kate and she smiled and I was just like, right, thank God. There were so many people wanting to help. Loads and loads of emails coming in. We'd like to connect with you to discuss an opportunity of how we think we can help you. We'd lost track of what happened on social media because it just exploded. It was just breathtaking. Microsoft have been incredibly significant in the journey, not just with Vegas, but in connecting me up with the people who had the knowledge that I was lacking. The central advice was, you've just been on stage in front of 3,000 people and you've told your story and look at the reaction you've had. There is a living just in that. If you get enough of them, you could support all of the research you're doing. So that's what I did. In a roundabout way, everything that I said that I was going to do on that stage is happening. So I'm now working with a commercial organisation, so when families contact me and say, you have the choice, I can either teach you through the channel how to do what I've done and you can make them yourself and I'll walk you through every step of the process, or you can just buy one.
We talk about empowering every person and organisation on the planet to achieve more, and just that little thing that we were involved in a year ago feels as if we've empowered one man's dream, and it's touching, I know, so many other children across the world.
Things improved massively for the family ever since Las Vegas. The kids seeing a different side of their dad, a side of their dad that isn't pulling his hair out, staring into space thinking, what am I going to do next? Yeah, that's back to being a normal dad again.